Most men are brought up in a frame that says, number one, you don't cry. Number two, you don't show emotions. If you are hurt, you are hurt. But then tomorrow morning you wake up and then the show goes on.
And this is especially in the black community.
Exactly.
I'm glad you mentioned
Our
that.
counterpart here, the conversation as we had is quite different. With us, it's the fact that now you need to just man up, stand up,
and
roll with the punches.
I know for a fact because I am the youngest in here actually.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I know that.
No, you're not.
I am the youngest in here. So one thing I can say, growing up within the last 3 years of the 90s, that was a time where people were still in the old ways, but slowly changing into new ones.
Yes.
So seeing that transition and going over and still learning that, okay, sometimes you actually need to hold yourself and then be there for people before you break down. That perspective of seeing how people used to do that and then going back and then just either drinking themselves to sleep or just crying, blatantly crying and just driving away. Seeing that growing up was like, it always puzzled me, like, why are they doing this? Why me, a little boy, I can cry, get it all out.
But them,
it's another story.
But you see, it's problematic that way. The statement in itself is problematic because, I mean, let's look at the stats. Highest suicide rate between men and women. Who is it? Men. Why? Pressure.
And they bottle everything up.
Yeah, and it speaks to mental health issues. It speaks to the fact that you are either unable to articulate how you feel, or you don't know who to talk to about how you feel, or you can't deal with it.
But are you allowed to talk? That's
the thing is,
again, let's start at the basic network within your household, within your friends,
within your community.
No, even besides that, let's start in the four pointers of your yard. Are you allowed to feel that way? When as brother, your eldest or your middle child or last child, emotionally, as a parent who comes from a certain era, do you then allow it? Because now it's two-way. Again, as a man, as a guy, I'm expected to act this way from the male side of the coin, and when it comes to the female side of the coin, do they also come to the party in the same way? Because now being black again, sorry to put in the race thing, being black, you are expected to run, push and go, especially in situations whereby you see that pain is evident, it's here, but then you are then directed in a certain manner that, you know what, just move along.
Pick up the pieces and walk on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that that's being stereotyped?
No, it's not. It's our reality.
Because I want to get to the point that you raised to die. 3 kids, 3 different age groups. And you're asking if these guys have authority to talk, do they express their feelings? As time goes on, for your kids, they evolve, and because they evolve, and we have to evolve as well. For us to evolve, we have to understand them. That's how communication starts.
The fact that, where does this thing come from that we have to do all the hard work? Why do we have to all do the hard labor? Everyone has the capacity to learn everything like that. Why can't we all do it? Why does a man have to do it?
A man is a provider.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible it says the man is the head.
For me, that's a very disturbing statement, because these days opportunities are open for everyone. What stops a woman from being a provider? Because we are allowed, and if you look at it these days, women are even probably earning more than men.
Yeah,
so what's the use of having a situation where my wife is earning more than me, she's got all these opportunities. As a man, I don't have the same opportunities, but I'm supposed to be that particular person that is providing for this family. It's not a bad thing. However, why should that be an expectation all the time, where a man, no matter what, must be a provider?
Men are trash.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that one.
That
for me is
the most. Oh.
Yeah.
They also refer to men are dogs.
Yeah. Yes. Same thing.
That's the favorite one.
Yeah.
Just because your one is a dog doesn't necessarily mean he's a dog.
Who wrote the template about
who went there and just okay, trash.
Yeah.
Nah. Okay, sharp. Now, how do you define every man as trash if one person does a bad thing? There are women out there doing bad things as well.
Less than 1% of the very dodgy men who do the things that they do, if that's the blueprint, to label all other men based on that small population of it, do you not see that as a problem?
Yes.
It all boils down to expectation. That's basically it.
And let's make no mistake, we're not condoning
Yes.
the things that men do, right? We do have a responsibility. I personally have a responsibility, just like any other person, to act in a specific way when I'm treating somebody else, be it a woman, be it a man. Don't be violent. That's one, right? Which is one of the things that you mentioned, right? Don't be disparaging when you're speaking to someone. Respect somebody. You know, basic things like that every human being must do. Those are things that must be done. Just because one man did something against that doesn't mean that all men are like that. So that's why the statement is problematic.
Men are a pandemic. Men are problematic. And I think because of how the world is, they continuously have this thing of the ball rolls, it doesn't stop. Like it moves on from one point to another. If it's not Spongile, then it'll be whoever, and they would share similar traits. Besides the issue of abuse and what. Now the issue of relationships as well, how people are treated, how people are being double-crossed, how people are doing all of these things. All of those things also contribute into men being called trash, because it's not only a violence thing, and also the issue of the role a man would play in destroying. Sometimes in the name of I am being a man, that's what a man is supposed to do. Because
labels.
Yeah, because whether we like it or not, if we're gonna break it down into the cultural aspect, there are certain cultures whereby, as a man, they are instilled with values that you must do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. But when it comes to the opposite sex, the woman would then feel, this is unfair, this is wrong. This is not how it's supposed to be done. This is how I'm hurt. Again, not everybody does it, but that 1%, as you put it, dents everything that everybody does. Because now, again, if you were to have a conversation with any young woman on the street and you say, what's your opinion on unjolo or relationships or whatnot, the honest truth with the majority will be, I'm good, I'm fine. Why? X, Y, Z happened with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it's not physical, it's not abuse, it's not anything, but it's the actions that they did that left a mark that's unremovable, that one cannot remove at this point.
In actual fact, the one thing that I picked up, also culture plays a role.
It does.
Yeah.
Because I saw something on an article recently and I was not even aware of it. So this guy wrote something on that article to say, so I'll say it in Sotho, right? But I'll translate it. It says, Munna yasna nyatsi urwaka badini. So what it translates to is that, did you get it?
Yeah.
So what it translates to is that, yeah, I'll explain. It means, as a man, you're supposed to have a side chick of some sort, because failure to do that will be insulting your ancestors.
Where did you see this? Daily Sun?
No, it was one of the articles. It's an article. But now just imagine what impact that statement will make to most young men. To say, remember the previous statement, you must be a man. Be a man. Now to prove my manhood, based on that statement, would mean having one partner is inadequate. I need to have multiple partners to be seen as a man.
Yeah.
But doesn't that speak to somebody's self-worth, what they believe or think about themselves?
Yes.
But
Because they think that they're in, I'm just putting this out there, they think that their inadequacy can be bolstered up by specific actions such as multiple partners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But directly it speaks to them, you as an individual. I mean, if you are looking for fulfillment from somebody else, you're never going to find it, because the fulfillment that you need is from within. Know thyself.
Be thyself.
Yeah. Know who you are. Know your boundaries. Understand who you are. Understand that you can do anything that you want.
And don't be afraid.
And don't be afraid. You can do anything that you want. You are capable of doing it. You just need to find a way on how to do it. My point of view, you go to a doctor, to get your health check and whatnot, right? You need a mirror. You need somebody to show you things that you are blind to. You need to speak with somebody, just like you consult with a doctor for your physical health. You need to consult with somebody else with your mental health. That's my point of view. You need somebody to reflect some of the things that you don't understand yourself to you, so that you can find better knowledge of thyself.
So with me, it's learning to say no and having peace.